And so, beloved masters, here we are in a new moon that is spectacular. In fact, the energy of this time from this new moon, which occurs at 0 degrees 23 minutes of Virgo, to the new moon in September, which occurs at 29 minutes or 29 degrees 17 minutes of Virgo also. Or, as they say, this is a blue moon. For these are the times that are considered quite extraordinary. And so this new moon in Virgo is accompanied by 8 other aspects that are at the very beginning degrees of the signs. This is a time of new beginnings. This is a time not of necessarily pushing forward, but of considering, where do I desire to go? Now, this doesn't mean that you have a destination in mind, because I assure you, dearly beloved masters, the destinations are totally beyond your control. They are totally out of your hands. But you can call what you desire. You can call and allow. You can call and just open yourself. Let Spirit be your travel organizer. Let Spirit show you paths and pathways that you have not known. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters. So, the new moon sits in a yard, even though it is that most don't consider that the lights are a part of the finger of God, but since God made it all, we will just simply operate as though it's all right for that new moon and full moon to be at the point, the activator, the energizer. And Pluto, on the one hand, sextile Saturn and Neptune on the other, Pluto at 1 degree and 14 minutes of Aquarius, and Saturn and Neptune together in the very first degree of Aries. It is that this creates an amazing energy of new beginnings, of grand potential. Sextiles are so filled with opportunities, and it is that this is a magnificent time of opportunities. Uranus sits at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Gemini in a trine to Pluto. The energy of air, of divine communication, the speaking from the breath, from the word of the divine. And this dearly beloved masters, is not some edict of religious principle. This is a word, an energy, an idea, a creation that you may experience inside. And that word that you experience is for you. That word that religions talk about is supposed to be a blanket edict, and everyone, one size fits all, must follow what people have interpreted that thought or that word to be. But in these times, the words come to you energetically. The words come to you like a breath, often like a whisper, quietly. For the voice of the divine has no necessity to shout. God speaks quietly. And the logical mind says, speak up there, God. I'm not hearing you too terribly good. And God says, but if you listen, not try to listen or make an effort to listen, but if you just allow yourself to hear, feel the energy, then, dearly beloved masters, you experience that voice, that word, that whisper into the very center of your being, to your soul, to the area of your navel, of your solar plexus, of your heart chakra, a huge, powerful vortex of vibrational energy that is directly connected inside of your physicality. That portal is a channel to the divine. Many people will say, I'm channeling, and they envision that the energy is coming down through the crown of their head, and it does. We're not saying it doesn't. But the channel also is a portal that's open into your solar plexus. It's open into your breath, the beating of your heart, the truth of your being, the truth, not what you've been told that never quite felt exactly like you. But dearly beloved masters, the absolute depths of truth of the divine. And the divine speaks only truth because even we as servants, humanity, the masters that we are, those that are from the other realms, we all are called to speak the truth, to really speak truly. And as you begin to be conscious of speaking the truth, Uranus and Gemini and Pluto and Aquarius, you begin to remember the energy of your inner ethic, your inner rightness, your inner integrity, the truth of you in you. And so, as you are getting comfortable with being in alignment, in connection, feeling the amazing beauty, the peace, the comfort that you feel in that connection, that allowing that lets you experience the energy essence of you personally, of you yourself. We are with you, but we are not telling you what to do. We are there, but we are waiting for you to feel into yourself. The illusion has laid down so many rules and laws about how you must be, how you must do to worship. And yet, so much of what you've been taught to worship is either something you really don't know or something you can't see. So the energy of these times, dearly beloved masters, is bringing you to that inner connection, that portal to the divine, where you feel in your body, in yourself, you feel the love. As we create these rituals, we close the circle. We close the circle to indicate to all you belong here. You are blessed here. You are beloved here. This is a place for you to really be yourself, to feel that essence of the divine in you, to experience being in your body, in your physical body, to feel that, to experience how it feels to be you inside of this physical form, this body that was designed as a vehicle to move to move you forward, to assist you, to get into those places of remembering this is who I am. This is how I feel to me. Logic wants to know, how does it feel to somebody else? They're not living in your body. They are not experiencing your space. They have really no authority about what it is for you to be you. There are those who set themselves up as authorities who can tell you who you must be, how you must be, the rules of the game, beloved masters, the rules of the game. But inside of you, there is no game unless you've chosen to play it. And if you have, then, dearly beloved masters, a lot of what you're forgiving, releasing, letting go is that iron fist of, shall we call it, logical authority that simply tells you this is what you do and this is how you do it. And finding your inner self is a discovery. It isn't a doing thing. It's an allowable. It's really coming home to you, your beautiful, amazing self, your personhood, discovering who you are in these times is some of the most fantastic magic because you've been told stories, you've been given fairy tales, you've been told tales around the campfire, but so many of them had an element of fear. Now, long ago, the people that were telling these stories in the beginning didn't add an element of fear. They actually taught in ways that opened you to the awe of who you are. Then logic came on the scene and it began to take away the awe of who you are and said you can only have awe about the divine. Well, where's the divine? Out there. No, beloved masters. The divine is in you, with you. The divine made you cell by cell. The divine created you as such an exquisite and unique being. Now, your soul has had thousands of experiences, and many of them weren't here on Earth, or even in the other connected to this planet. They were in different places of this universe or other universes, for you are eternal. You are forever. Lifetime after lifetime. And logic says, well, that just sounds exhausting. And the way you've been taught to live, trying to make things work the way you want them to be, that is exhausting. Because the magic of the divine is enlightenment. It's lightning. It opens you up. It lifts you up. It embraces you. So, dearly beloved masters, the energy of what is coming into you now, many of you are calling it. But, dearly beloved masters, so many of you are just waking up to the fact that something that's bigger than you. Yes, you've been told all your life that there are things that are bigger than you, but then you've been told how small you are. So most anything would be bigger than you. But the energy of these times is bringing you a living recognition of the vastness of you and the awesome wonder of divine creation. And logic says, I look in the mirror and I see this person measured by height and size and weight and coloring and for this place a lot of that is necessary. But dearly beloved masters, in the light of the divine, that which you choose to be is sacred. That choice that you make for your experiences is sacred. You may make difficult choices. And certainly, the way the energy of the planets in these times is bringing so much huge change to the world. It is, many people have decided that this must be hell, that this must be what the churches have talked about all along as a place of suffering or a place of fear. And so many that have refused to find themselves are cowering in the corners in fear of those who are expressing their domination of the world. God's got the whole world in her hands. The whole wide world and all of her children is in her hands. And God is the divine counterpart of the goddess. It isn't inferior, superior. It isn't masculine better than feminine or vice versa. It is every soul craves the desire of the divine mother. And in more recent times, all of the striving of the patriarchy to set rules and regulations of what women must do and be and how they must act to be a good mother has created confusion and doubt in very good mothers who know how to mother, maybe even if they don't have children. So the mother energy isn't simply about bringing a child forth through the womb. The mothering exists in the man as well as the woman. Another name you might call it is compassion or empathy. To just love without having to have a reason or an excuse or an explanation or a defense. Just love. And it becomes so much deeper and so much more powerful as you feel yourself included in it. Jupiter sits at 18 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer is exalted. In many ways, this exaltation of the sign of Jupiter moving through Cancer in these times is just another piece of glory to the divine. Feel it within you. Jupiter is square to Mars at 10 degrees of Libra at 16 minutes. And Mars in Libra is, you might say, accountable for a lot of frustration in these times because Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries is the beginning sign. Aries wants things to be moving. Let's have action. Let's have outcomes. Let's have proof. I am. Well, I guess I am that I am. So what is that? I am that I am. I am one with all there is. I am one with all there is. I am a part of all that is. You are a part of me, and I am a part of you. Feel it until you get beyond the logical considerations of who that means I'm part of. And you come to the place where you feel the divine essence that you are in yourself and know that that divine essence made all of it and granted to each and every soul free will. So the Jupiter and Mars square. Mars is wanting to push things forward in the world, to make a union with one hand. There is the desire to make a union With the other hand, there is the absolute tearing apart of everything that has been coalescing on this planet for eons of time. It's necessary, but it's also quite challenging. That everything you have believed you could not live without is just melting away. Some people feel like it's being ripped away, but that's because they've got such a tight hold and they are terrified to let go. Venus is moving toward the very end of the sign of Cancer at 27 degrees, 6 minutes. It's just almost to the degree, and will be by the full moon at the beginning of September, it will be square to Jupiter, or to rather Saturn and Neptune in Aries. The family, and you might say the square, which is always a point of motivation. Venus in the sign of Cancer is mother energy. It's serenity. It's that sweetness. It's the caring that you feel for yourself and others. And logic has instilled a need to have others love me because I don't remember how to love myself. So Venus moving toward the end of Cancer is bringing home a lot of very important memories, not necessarily even things of this lifetime, but memories quite frequently of who you've been. Memories that can help you to remember the best of you. Of course, logic wants to round up all the negative memories and bring those to you because it wants you to stay where you've been. But you're moving forward anyway. So, dearly beloved masters, it is that sense of heightened awareness of a caring that isn't looking for some reason to care, but a caring that cares because it does. It just cares because it does. Mercury is making a sextile to Mars. Mercury at 12 degrees of Leo, 33 minutes. Leo. Cancer is the mother energy. Leo is the heart. Virgo is the healing. feel it. Because this new moon is potentially, if you will allow it, setting you on a whole new path of healing. It is moving you energetically, not so much intellectually as the deep feeling of something that I really desire to have. So remember, beloved masters, you've got it. It's you. It's yours. It's always been. You've just made choices to turn away for the experience of the thing. And now it seems virtually impossible to get back to yourself, but you're not going back to yourself. You're moving forward in this time with who you are becoming. For the first time, you're becoming something that has never happened before. This is brand new. You can't really find this in the history books. This is being recorded on the golden tablets, the emerald tablets, the DNA, the very cells of your being. The changes that you are experiencing now will be part of the stories that you tell in your future. And who knows what that future will be. For dearly beloved masters, there were times, and we keep mentioning this, planting seeds. There were times when people lived 1,000 years. They lived 1,000 years and they enjoyed it. They weren't just staying here because they didn't know anything else to do. And they weren't staying here just because they wanted a number. In fact, the flow of time feels so different when you're not watching a clock. When you become so engrossed in living that the time can just move. But what about them? They are part of it. What if I'm late? As the Master Gandalf said in The Lord of the Rings, a master is never late, and a master is never early. A master is exactly on time. So as you're living in divine timing, and you're going by the feel of that blessed connection to divine essence, you will always be divinely on time. No arriving late for an appointment full of apologies, but arriving when spirit opens the way for you to be there. And amazing when you're willing to practice it in this place. You find that if you're willing to be divinely on time, if you're a little late, so are they. If you're a little early, then you're there waiting on them. But dearly beloved masters, it isn't ever about being sorry for who you are. As logic begins to just melt away and move into the annals of another experience in living that souls have had. And so, dearly beloved masters, the planets are just, if you want to say Gabriel's horn, they are bringing the call. Come on, forward. Come on. Not down, but up. Rise up. It has no grain, no modicum of superiority as you rise up. It's just the glory of getting a better view. It's just the happiness of seeing more. It's just the willingness to let yourself out of the prison of the darkness that the logical mind has devised and encouraged divine creative masters to turn away from self and look for other things. After all, there's so many things to see, so many paths to follow. Yes, there are. But when Spirit shows you, you have a guide, you have protection, you can find your way home. Logic just said there's many roads, pick one. You'll figure it out. And so, to move into the brilliant light, a light of illumination, and I say brilliant like a beautiful jewel, and yet in many ways luminous in the softness of moonlight. It is so amazing to be you. Yes, you are required to stand with yourself, not as a warrior, but as someone who cares. So the logical mind is tiptoeing around, trying to find a way, a weak spot in your beautiful, comfortable, amazing sacred space. And logic just needs to get in. It needs to have the last word. It needs to tell you what to do. And when you become aware of it, all that is required is to put your focus, feel yourself in center. And simply say, I refuse to go back. I refuse to listen to the old way. Everything you've ever experienced, beloved masters, is in your DNA. Everything. Everything that you have ever known. Every act, every thought, every situation. And you have a well of wisdom in that deep inner center that is filled with experiences to help you find your way so that you don't, quote unquote, need to make the same mistake twice. Yet there are people in the logical world that are so determined that they are right that they will keep making the same choice over and over and over, absolutely convicted that it will work. If it's going to work, then let go and let it happen. At least as you let go, then spirit can take your hand and guide you forward. New beginnings. Changing your inner law. Letting go of all of the should, oughta, gotta, musta, can't, won't, don't. Yes, but what if it's hard and I tried? Just let them go. They're little words, little phrases that have been like manacles, like a prison in your life. What do I do? Let go. But if I let go, what happens? We'll catch you. But I can't see you. I see you. And that's what really matters if I'm the one that's going to catch you. Indeed. And the more you let go, the more you relax, the more you just be. The more you'll remember who you are, the more you will feel the absolute inner connection. It's astounding when you first begin to actually feel yourself inside of your own body. You've operated outside of it for so long, watching it do things that you tell it to. But when you're energetically inside and you realize it is my heart that is beating, it is my soul and soul connection, and it's here inside of this physical vehicle, even though the churches said it couldn't possibly be there. The world has tended to be offended by the physical form. Not necessarily the outer shell. There's been a lot of tributes to that in statues over time. But to the sacredness of this physical form that has free will to make choices that are not so sacred. And so, dearly beloved masters, you're at a point of new beginning. Even though astrologers may or may not say this finger of God, where the new moon sits at the point, is an acceptable energy, it's still the why of the road that says, which direction will you go? Which direction will you take now in this time of a complete new evaluation of things? Both the full moon and the new moon in September are eclipses. And all of the energy between the very beginning of Virgo and the very end of it is about physician, heal thyself. Heal thyself. It isn't about trying to fix the world. You were not put here to fix the world. You were put here to care for yourself, to create amazingly, and to share beautifully. So empathy can make you very caught up in what's going on with others, but it also can be a tangle that keeps you away from yourself. So first, physician, consider yourself. Where does it hurt? That's resistance. Where are you so sad? Those are things that have not been forgiven or released. Where have you been disappointed, let down, betrayed in lifetimes? It was all lessons. So logic sets its jaw and puts its hands on its hips and says, so what's the lesson? That, dearly beloved masters, in this time is what you're here for. And you wouldn't have missed it for the world. You have a mission. You may have looked at that mission through many lifetimes and said, that's the mission? Surely I'm better than that. I can do something more than that. That's not the point. Can you willingly, in love, fulfill what your soul's desire for you? Is it not control? The soul is your, you might say, divine center, your connection to all that is. But that soul mission is filled with purpose for you. And it may not seem as though it could possibly be important. So, beloved masters, you are important. And therefore, anything that will help you, that will lift you up, that will guide you, that will heal you, that will bring you a remembrance of the pure joy of loving without any condition, then that mission is worthy. Because it really isn't so much what the soul has asked you or created for you to accomplish as that you are willing in the greatest, deepest of love to accept that my mission is divinely unique, and how I accomplish it is not the only way it could be accomplished, but it's my way. In the logical world, there's a fear of having an idea and then having someone else steal it. All the ideas come from God, from Goddess, from the allness. So if you have an idea and someone else has an idea, it's really fascinating to observe what they do with your idea. And as you watch, you may say, they've got some really good ideas around my idea. Perhaps I could integrate those. Yes, why don't you? It's not theft. There's no shame in it. The only unfortunate aspect would be if you would attempt to punish someone else for taking your idea, because they could retaliate that they had it first. And it all, every idea, every imagining, every picture, every perspective, every choice came from the divine. And you were given, empowered with the free will to make choices in faith, the faith that the divine has in you as a divine, beloved, creative master. So these are such amazing, wondrous, glorious times if you're looking in and forward. If you're still looking out, and trying to figure out how to stop what's going on out there, you're just frustrating yourself because your inner knowing, the deepest part of yourself, wants to focus on where my life is going. That's not selfish. The more you know, the more you have to share. The more you are trying to help them or trying to figure out how to work, how to make the world work, the less consideration you're giving yourself, till you may find you're feeling lonely, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling abandoned, you're feeling angry because they don't appreciate you. But where are you for you? Because none of them can help you more than you are willing to help yourself, to give yourself, to allow yourself. So, dearly beloved masters, the divinely made heavens, the planets that can be seen from this one, the stars, the solar system, it's all contributing. It's all one with who you are, and you are one with it. You are not just a tiny grain of sand on a beach of thousands. You're an amazing, contributing being. And you even have the free will to pick. Will you love yourself and move forward and share what you're accomplishing with others? Or will you dig in, believe that you're right and they're wrong, and sit and suffer the aging process because you're not moving forward? Yes, the aging process. The aging process is a part of the illusion of logic, like death. And the finite mind would deny to the grave that death is real. And yes, you do see something that definitely shows you that a particular soul has laid down the garment they wore in this journey, and they're not in it any longer. But, dearly beloved masters, that doesn't mean they're not there. That doesn't mean they're not with you. Open your inner portal, and you may be very amazed to find that friends and family and lovers that you've had, not only in this journey, but others, are there with you. That pet that you mourned because it was no longer with you, and yet animals are so very loyal that that soul may stay with you through a lifetime and just keep returning in different forms, since the length of an animal life is so much shorter than the length of a human. But you will discover as the times move forward that if you're living longer and accomplishing more, your pets may also. Because in this physical world, they are blessed healers that so often come to someone who is not really looking at caring for themselves. And the animal loves so unconditionally that they carry the burden of the disease that their person is not letting go of. As you heal through this next month is an amazing time to really look and start a new regimen of self-awareness and care. First physician, heal thyself. You may get a real rush out of helping someone else and having them tell you, yes, you did this for me. But masters know that you gave them help. You may have spoken, or you may have touched, or you may have just healed by energy. But if they weren't receptive, what you gave them wouldn't have gone anywhere. So, no blame, no guilt, no self-flagellation for not having done enough if what you thought would work didn't. But also, dearly beloved masters, no crowing, no pride, no marching around telling everyone, look what I did. Yes, you did. We won't take that away from you. You and God and whoever you helped. The goddess mother is extremely busy on the planet in this time. And this year of that energetic beauty of Jupiter moving through Cancer is offering portals of awareness, enlightenment, to feel closer to the goddess, to feel Divine Mother. So the planets are moving, some of them, into a holding pattern. Saturn and Neptune will be backing into the sign of Pisces in September. And around the middle part of November, Uranus will move back into Taurus. These big outer planets are backing up to give you an opportunity to really consider the choices that you think are the only way. Really feel into them, because this is a divine gift that things are backing up, seem to be on hold, perhaps. And the cry of the logical mind, nothing is happening. Beloved masters, attune yourself to subtleties. Recognize the finer things in life. in the energy of creation. For there is so much happening if you are willing to let it in. Not try to capture it or try to do something about it or think about it and figure it out and then try to use it. Just relax, breathe, let your mind rest, and listen within to the sound of your soul. And the sound of your soul, a beauteous melody that is for you. And no one else has exactly the same soul song. So it's your tone, your call, your anthem to who you are. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters. And so we will open the circle. And we thank the North, the great teacher. And we thank the West, where emotions on stormy seas are translating into new feelings of refinement. And we say, thank the South, the ways of the heart and the hearth. May you be at home with yourself. And we thank the East for new thought, for new ideas, for new ways of being. Even your breath can be new. And so the circle is open. That all souls that have joined us in this may go forth into their day, into their night, to know that the door is always open and they are welcome in this place. May we meet, may we part, and may we meet again and again in the greatest of love. You all belong in the circle.